This edition of YouTube Suggestions is brought to you by the Down the Rabbit Hole Pickle Juice Emporium. Pickle juice. Hey everybody, this is James. Welcome to another edition of YouTube Suggestions. YouTube Suggestions 14 to be exact. If you're new to the channel or you just haven't seen one of these before, take a look at a few of the previously featured channels and I'll give you a quick rundown of what we do here. On YouTube Suggestions, we normally take a look at 5 small channels here on YouTube. I'll tell you a little about the channel and the folks that run it. And if it's a channel you aren't familiar with and it sounds like something you might like, all I ask is that you go take a closer look. If you decide to stick around, let them know where you heard about them, and let me know that you went. I always like to know if I'm doing anybody any good. For our purposes here, a small channel is any channel that is under 25,000 subscribers. Most of the channels we feature are well under that. However, we also present what I call the 6th channel, which is just one of the bigger YouTube channels I enjoy. One that's over 25,000 subscribers, and you might want to take a look at it as well. I'm subscribed to all the channels I present here, but they are not necessarily subscribed to A View from the Middle, even though many of them are. Now, I have to mention, these are not shout-outs.
What?
Who knows what the heck YouTube's policy on shout-outs even is anymore, but I've heard they have come down on some other channels for doing shout-outs, so these are definitely not shout-outs. We don't get into anything negative, we keep it all positive, but technically there are reviews. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, before we get started, I do want to point out that even though we normally do 5 channels, this edition will only have 4. Now, early on, I featured 6 channels in one video, and I have had that odd number staring me in the face ever since then. I'm one of those people that can only ignore a crooked picture for so long before I have to straighten it. So, to make myself feel better, we only present 4 channels this time around, giving us a nice even 70 that I've presented since I started. It's just a little something to keep me from going crazy as a monkey. Shell Yeah. Breaking the Shell is hosted by Tim, a fellow from Tennessee that started his channel to overcome his shyness and meet new people, hence the name. In almost a year and a half, he has grown to almost 9,000 subscribers and has traveled all across the U.S. doing a variety of different videos. Most of his videos are centered on abandoned exploration and haunted houses, but Tim also does a lot of challenges or just shows you some interesting locations he comes across, like the MGM parking lot with a casino next to it. Yeah, that'll make more sense if you watch the video. He's also a cat lover and has a few videos featuring his feline friends. Tim has collaborated with some other notable YouTubers like John from Exploration Unknown, James the Fam. He's gone to a lot of fantastic locations, so it's really tough to pick a favorite, but a couple of his more recent videos, as I'm making this, include Red Ash Cemetery and one simply called Abandoned Haunted House. Those would be good ones to check out if it's your first time there. Or maybe just go back to his first video from July of 2017 and see how it all started. If you've been around this channel for a little while, you might recognize Charlotte. I met her at Animania in Wichita Falls, Texas, where she was cosplaying as Black Widow, and she was kind enough to do an intro for me. Charlotte is based in the Dallas area, but travels around Texas to different Comic Cons and other shows. She is one of the rising stars among professional cosplayers in the area, having a booth where she meets convention goers and has even been asked to sit in on panels. Her channel features her time at these shows, plus some advice on how to cosplay on a budget or just hang out with her friends. Charlotte started her channel about 6 years ago and has 187 subscribers, but she has to balance her time on YouTube with school. She is a college student, and that obviously has to come before cosplay or uploading. Check out her video Animania 2018 vlog for her video from Wichita Falls. That's my personal favorite since I was there as well. She obviously has a lot of other convention videos to choose from. And you might also take a look at Halloween sale haul, where she got a lot of great deals at an after Halloween sale. So go give her a look. This time next year, she might be a big star. It Starts With a Step is hosted by Kate, who lives in the United Kingdom but travels to lots of interesting places in and around her part of the world. Kate shows you places you've probably heard about, like the Taj Mahal in India or the Colosseum in Rome, but she also goes places that might not be in the travel brochure. There's a fascinating series of videos from India that really shows you places you might not see anywhere else. And sometimes, even with all that traveling, she gets some great videos from right there in her own backyard in the United Kingdom. Kate started her channel about 3 years ago and has 639 subscribers. There's a nice archive to go through, but I love the series of 3 videos she did recently from Ireland. That includes crossing a rope bridge that I'm not sure I could have done that. I'd recommend starting there. Another nice one is Kate tries some candy from Denmark. I thought that was a fun one. And also wanted to mention she has one of the best video intros I've ever seen. Very nicely done. So go check out It Starts With a Step and find a favorite video of your own. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer. Now, I'm not sure where I steered away from that, but I still love real crime and police stories, both big and small, and there are plenty to hear on Real Police Talk. Real Police Talk is hosted by John, who has a career in law enforcement that spans 31 years and counting. He does occasionally have guests or shows you around Louisville, Kentucky in one video, but mostly it's really cool, true stories from someone that has been a cop for longer than some people I know have been alive. And he's also a former Marine, so you can bet there are plenty more stories to come. Real Police Talk's fairly new. It started in March of 2018, but already has a nice archive and 732 subscribers. Some of his recent videos tell about meeting Anne Rice and Muhammad Ali. Not at the same time. That's 2 different videos. But I think my favorite is how our American police treated in Europe. I thought that was a really cool story. You might also check out Policeman Accidentally Uses Woman's Bathroom. I thought that was a pretty funny one. If you're interested in hearing real-life police stories from a real-life policeman, you're sure to find something you'll like. Okay, those are the featured channels this time around. Links to all these channels are in the description. And you can also click the icon in the upper right hand corner to get to any channel at any time. Since we only did 4 channels this time around, our 6th channel is technically a 5th channel. But I'm still calling it the 6th channel because, well, it's my video and I make the rules. So, now, the fact is that I'm starting to run a little low on the bigger channels because I just don't watch that many big channels anymore. So if you're not a wrestling fan, bear with me for just a minute as I talk about OSW Review HD. This is not your average wrestling channel. The OSW stands for Old School Wrestling, and it mostly concentrates on taking a look back at pay-per-views and notable weekly episodes of pro wrestling in the 80s and 90s, but there is some more current stuff mixed in. It's hosted by Jay, Steve V1, and Steve OOC. It's actually a roundtable podcast cut to the wrestling footage they are talking about. And it's largely centered on WWE, but they also go back to WCW, TNA, ECW, and some other federations. It's a fun look back at how good wrestling was back in the day, and sometimes just how silly it could get. I do want to add, you might want to prepare for some salty language. Just FYI. Okay, well, thanks for joining me for the 14th edition of YouTube Suggestions. We'll be back to 5 channels next time. If you aren't subscribed here already, you can do so by clicking the red button on the front page or the double arrow one-way sign in the bottom right-hand corner. As a Christmas special, I'm going to make it absolutely free. Does my giving never stop? Check out the closing screen to see the names of the channels from the clips at the beginning of the video. You can find all those channels in the YouTube Suggestions playlist, which I'll leave a link to at the end of the video. If you're new or a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. Tori, take us out.
That's a wrap.